Racism in the South African esports industry. Now, this is not a new subject, if we're going to be real. It's something I've spoken about in the past on the Esports Central podcast, in my own content, during my own podcast and such. But I feel like the things I said before didn't. The perspective in which I was saying them with in those times to now was very different, right? The inspiration that sparked this recent video of mine that I'm going to do right now that you're going to listen to was this post here by RDK. Just going to go to it right now on Facebook. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of things because y'all probably follow the South African Dota 2 page way more than I do. So yeah, that's the post. Y'all know it. There's 200 comments there. If y'all interested, go read it there. I ain't gonna get into the nitty gritty there. Just want to rather just talk about the sort of mentality going behind these kind of posts when they always go up, because this is not a new thing in South African Dota, right? We've all seen, oh, X person did this racist thing, X person said this racist thing, and then the fucking 125 comments that it's new. We'll get to those comments a bit later, in theory at least. Let's start off with RDK himself. Actually, before we even get to RDK, let's start off with me here, right? The point of this video is kind of to show that we ain't perfect, right? On the flip side, we're quite flawed. So I'm in a clan in Dota 2 named Cunt. K-U-N-T. So not spelled exactly the same, so your Dota thing doesn't block it out and shit. It's run by an Australian guy. I know him for a couple of years. Me and all my chomies are in it. Like, it's just a Dota clan, right? But let's say I was a more famous person. That clan probably would be posted on Twitter or something. It'd be like, yo, look at Carmel, he's in a clan called this. He's a misogynist or whatever. And they'd probably maybe be right. You know, I'm not going to argue with that. I mean, if I was more famous, I probably wouldn't even be in the clan. But I'm like, yo, IDC, I'm playing SA Dotes and like 3K rank. Like, do I really care, right? Do I really care? That is the question that comes up to me. So, yeah, I'm just going to put that out there to make it seem like, just to show y'all I'm not a fucking perfect guy. Y'all know me for a long time. I've never pretended the case. And y'all been the guys saying, y'all been the people saying that. So, I don't have to tell you motherfuckers, right? But let's go back to RDK, right? So, RDK shares this post. Let's go put it back on the camera. Here we go. So, he's got this post going. I'm probably sure you guys can't read this text on YouTube, to be perfectly honest, because I can't read it through my recording screen, but it is what it is. So he makes a post about a guy who was complaining about racism and then saying that this guy used racist terms and stuff as well. On the surface, it should be a good thing, right? Like a SA Pro player trying to bring awareness to racism and shit. It should be a good thing. Now, I'll put a preface here for RDK. He's genuinely one of the people I like in the SA scene the most. He's always been nice to me, supportive to me as a brown person. He's supportive to Snare as well, like as a black person, an African. My brother as well, he's a brown guy. He's been supportive there. So I've never heard him say anything like super deranged, super racist, anything like that to make me go like, yikesies, chief. But he's like, now he's sharing this thing and sharing in a certain manner on the Facebook group to say something along the lines of, yo, this is bad. Do I take it very seriously? To start off, I'm going to just say no. We've had a lot of players come forward, pro players here in South Africa come forward, be like, yo, this person said this guy is racist, whatever. I mean, the last time y'all can remember was at Mazi and ACG. I'm going to refer to this a lot, actually, because that's when I was probably most vocal about racial interactions in the South African Dota community, but this is going to go into the macro esports community as well. Don't stress it. Last time that shit happened, I got the thing I heard before anything went public, anything like that. I had BEE, Matthew, send me a message on Steam. We've been Steam friends for a really long time. We chat to him at all the events and shit. Always claims to be my fan and things. Great. So he messages me. He's like, yo, man, I played a pub game with Chad. He was super racist, man. Like, I don't know what to do about it. He sends me screenshots. He's like, yo, I don't know if you want to put this through to like somebody to do a news article or something, because this is really bad, right? It's a boring shit. I mean, Chad was caught saying the K word multiple times in a rank game. So I was like, yo, man, thanks for putting this through to me. We'll try to deal with this. I'm gonna send it to the news people and everything and such. And then I later find out that the Mazi clan, not Goliath Gaming themselves, but Muzzy and all his friends and stuff hated Chad, apparently. And then there was a lot of troll accounts and stuff going. Nobody knows who runs the Pit Pompies, or at least I don't. But whoever does run it, that guy's just pure fucking scum, so fuck him regardless. But yeah, so then I realized, okay, there's some beef going on here. Then next thing you know, I mean, I guess there's counter beef now because Chad and Muzzy aren't good, because Muzzy's happy to go and expose Chad because he's so against racism and shit, real freedom fighter out here. Next thing you know, bam, Muzzy gets exposed as well. For again, using the K word multiple times in a ranked game. So obviously I spoke about that on Esports Central podcast, on my podcast. We're like, this shit ain't right, this shit ain't good. I spoke to multiple players privately and shit. But I mean that whole thing in hindsight is actually just so fucked up. So, my screen just went off. Hello. Okay, I fixed it. In hindsight, it's actually, we went so fucking light. Honestly, if I could go back in time, I would not have done the content I made then. Honestly, but obviously it was a different time. I was younger. The world looked like a different place to me then. So alas, that's what I did. I dealt with things very professionally. I called out Muzzy. I spoke all the fucking right things that they say you should do. But that wasn't enough. Because what happened with Muzzy and Chad is not like, oh man, Muzzy and Chad are so bad, right? For anybody who plays SA Dota, they know this. They fucking know it. Y'all know this shit. Because that same guy, BE, who messaged me, later got word clouded himself on Open Dota, and there was some abhorrent shit said. I mean, K-words used so often, just terribly racist and disgusting things. So the same guy who was a crusade, out here fighting, can you please do something about this terrible fucking language, is out here being the biggest fucking racist of them all. I mean, somebody sent me a word cloud of a lot of the SA teams and stuff, and that White Rabbit Gaming team as of last year, 2019, I mean, there was some abhorrent shit said by many of the players. I think Precious Petunia was caught saying this racist shit, maybe Repo as well. I don't remember all the names, to be honest, and I'm not here, and I'm not here to fucking tell it to you guys either. If you want to go find out, go on to Open Dota and search them yourself. I'm not here to do the fucking work today, right? But regardless of who said what, I mean, it could have been none of them outside of BE, because I remember that specifically because of the fucking hypocrisy. It could have been all of them, right? Yeah, that's just facts. So, the point I'm trying to make here is that it's not ACG, it's not Muzzy, it's not the minority, right? It is the fucking majority. And another good example of this, the classic example, the reason I don't go onto that godforsaken fucking Facebook group is you can just go on there and read every single thread about racism. Sure, there'll be, and I can do a fucking summary of that of Dota 2 SA's racism posts in a nutshell. Somebody gets caught. X-player said this, worst thing ever. Da. What are we gonna do about it? Guys in the chat be like, ooh, spicy, putting popcorn gifts and shit. Other guys be like, oh man, who really cares, right? Is it gonna make a difference? Just play the game, mute and move on. There's one or two guys who'll be like, yo guys, this racism shit is a problem in the community. It's happening often. What are we gonna do about it? Those people, mind you, are always fucking shut down. But that's besides it actually is the point. But yeah, carrying on here. There's always these motherfuckers just saying different things, right? And let's be real. If you fucking see racism and you putting a fucking popcorn gif, then my friend, you are a fucking racist. Or at the very least, a person who is very happy with the current status quo of fucking bullshit, right? I'm gonna be real with you. Today I ain't mincing my fucking words if I'm gonna be real with you kids. I'm going in, right? If you're putting fucking popcorn gifs on racism things and not fucking condemning that shit, you are part of the fucking problem. If you are like, oh, just mute and play the game, then fuck you, mate. I'm gonna mute you because you don't know what you're talking about. Like, genuinely speaking. Back to the pro player thing. Now we got the situation, right? So, the point I was bringing about BE and stuff, sorry, I'm just speaking off the cuff here. I didn't write no script or anything like that. Just say there's been so much of this shit that I can just speak out of my head. I don't need to research my fucking story because it's all there right in front of you, motherfuckers. So now RDK is out here saying, oh, this is terrible. I hope VS Gaming banned this motherfucker, this, that, whatever. But RDK himself was playing in a team of 3 other fucking racists, right? So does RDK really give a shit? I mean, I gave my story about the cunt clan for a good reason. I was like, okay, I'm not perfect either. I'm playing in a thing called with a deeply misogynistic name and shit. Like, yo, maybe I should be like to my friends, yo, can we change this thing or whatever? But say like, if I didn't, I'm here talking about fucking racism. And so RDK's in this position. Now he's playing with a bunch of fucking racists. Now RDK, is he a racist himself? I don't know. But it's very fucking questionable behavior, right? This thread goes on. And it's not just RDK, like I said, it's all these motherfuckers, right? Further add on, I just remembered. No notes. I just fucking remembered. When this whole thing happened with all these WRG members called out for racism and shit, I think Chosen One from Energy Esports at the time sent Alvain, White Rabbit Gaming's manager or owner, a fucking email or some shit depicting all the word clouds and stuff. And you know what happened? Fucking nothing, right? Fuck all. Zero. Muzzy and Chad were the problems though, right? Just Muzzy and Chad. Yeah. So let's further this discussion because, yeah. So just again, I want to reiterate my point. If you're a popcorn giffer, if you're who cares about the racism, bro? It's just a game. Play sincerely. Fuck you. I ain't got no time for that shit. Let's go to the next sort of demographic. Maybe wait. Let's save that for later. Let's talk about my own personal experiences of racism in the scene, right? Because for right now, we're talking about the pro players and we're talking about the common dickhead, the popcorn giffers, right? We'll call them the popcorn giffers. This is quite clearly covered, I think, on the first 10 minutes of this video. But let's go to the next lot of people. My personal experience in the industry with racism. So very recently, I saw a person on their personal Facebook page. I'm not going to name and shame to expose and whatever. And plus, it was on their personal Facebook page. So that is a very big violation of privacy for me to put screenshots and shit or even name the person. So I'm not going to do that. But this person on their Facebook page was basically like, one of those fucking white farmers murdered kind of motherfuckers. And yeah, I'm going to be real with you guys. So South African Dota and gaming scene in general is this specific. These people are a large part of the demographic. And let me just tell you straight up, you people are fucking racists. Did I mince my words? No, I didn't. Good. So this person is sharing all this kind of shit. Some heinous shit about Donald Trump being a hero. Even, dare I say it, a fucking Tucker Carlson video was shared. So yeah, this is somebody who used to work in the broadcast industry. A big talent, used to work many events by the like for the likes of VS Gaming and such. I had worked at another talent. A talent I'm actually pretty close to, like one of my chomies in the scene. I was playing a pub with this guy. Not gonna name and shame again because what's the point? I don't feel the need to. And I don't like genuinely. The guy apologized to me and whatever after, and I forgave him. It's no beef. But what happened was still very real and should be spoken about, right? So we're playing a pub game, SA Dota 2 game. I bought a rapier and gyrocopter because who gives a fuck about SA Dota? We were fucking around. I lost it. We lost. Guess what? We lost the game of Dota 2 and I got called a coolie, right? A racial slur was used at me by somebody I work with because we lost the game of Dota 2. Now, I'm not going to be holier and thou and be like, yo, nobody has said abhorrent shit in Dota because I know for a fact I myself have. I mean, again, I'm in a clan named Cunt. But yo, I've said some heinous shit. That's straight up. But don't ever recall myself saying racist shit. Maybe when I was 14 and I moaned about Russians. But say la vie. If Sheb can get away with it, maybe 14-year-old me can as well. Just having my water there. Sorry, I'm not editing or doing any fancy shit yet today. I'm just fucking talking. I'm gonna drink my water and shit the way it needs to be done. Let's go to the next thing. So, on the topic of talent, Comic-Con Africa 2018. I worked the event as a caster there. We're getting ready there the day before. The Thursday, get there so you can get the briefing and stuff where nothing ever fucking happens for talent. I went to it, obviously unpaid for that shit because such is life. We get there at the end of the night. We spend like 3-4 hours there. Nothing gets said or done. Talent doesn't even have to test one microphone if I'm being reals with you guys. But at the end of the night, we get a speech, right? VS Gaming talent manager rocks up there. She's out here giving a speech, and while she's giving the speech, she's giving up the team, the fucking motivational thing and all. the music for the Comic Con before the game, like the hype music before the game starts playing. It's like an African drum beat, and she's like, "Yo guys, you hear that? That's an African drum beat for Comic Con Africa. So let's be sure to get behind that." And now I was working there as talent, as a brown guy, as an Indian, and the guy standing next to me happened to be Snare, the only fucking black caster in South Africa, who happens to also be the best fucking caster in South Africa, and that very year put in more hours than the rest of the fucking field combined, and it's just common knowledge that the man's the best fucking analyst. He didn't work that event. You gotta imagine my fucking reaction when I'm listening to this shit. Me and Snare standing next to each other, we look to each other and we fucking crashing laughing because it's just wild. It is actually just wild. Like, yo. But, I'm still having kind of the same reaction as I had then to you guys. But it isn't just wild. It's fucking racist, right? I'll be straight up. That's racist. Just like the person's Facebook page sharing the Tucker Carlson and the fucking white farmer murder shit. Racist, just like the person calling me a fucking racial slur is racist. You guys getting the point here? Right, I'm not done with this talent shit. I ain't done with this talent shit, the broadcast side of shit. The other thing I want to share here is that I went to Game Nation. Was it 2019? Was it 2018? I don't remember. I believe it could have very well been at the start of last year, the Game Nation gaming forum, whatever, right? So it was the usual thing. They get together a whole bunch of the esports people and gaming people to come and talk about the scene and shit. That particular panel was hosted by Extremes. The panelists were Glenn, Anthrax, Tech Girl, and it was an interesting discussion, right? The reason I'm bringing this thing up, because the topic is racism in the industry, was because there was a question asked at some point in the crowd. How do we bring game? I think it's I don't know if it was from a African or a black person. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But the question was basically, how do we take what is now the white predominated, very small, cliquey fucking esports community and branch it out into the broader world? Like, how do we get more black people involved? How do we get poorer people involved? How do we grow this thing so we're not just the small fucking irrelevant circle jerk that it is right now? That was the question. And Mr. Anthrax from Meadow State's answer was, "Bro, I'm a white guy going into Soweto." And just from that alone, I was like, yo, we got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. And it's not just to knock on Anthrax, because he's actually one of the people from the behind the scenes that, in the topic of racism, I will fucking vouch for, because he has done more work behind the scenes than 99% of these fucking motherfuckers themselves. So props to him. He's done his fair share. But at that very moment, I was like, yo, what the fuck is happening here, right? Firstly, that way that whole discussion went was Anthrax and Tech Girl spoke for literally 90% of the time to each other and themselves. There was a 3-person panel with the host, and I don't remember a single thing that either Extremes or Glenn said, because I don't know if they even got a chance to speak about it, right? So yeah, that's just rude and unprofessional on the straight up. But to further this discussion, now we have Anthrax answering this question. The question was, how do we get more Africans involved? How do we get the lower class involved? How do we get the townships involved? And Anthrax decides to answer. He's like, bro, I'm a white guy going into Soweto. Now, firstly, Anthrax, fucking Soweto is a big place. There's good malls and shit there. It's not just a fucking township. You've lived in South Africa for your whole life, I assume. So be a bit more use your brain a bit. But anyways, that's besides the point. But there's also happens to be a black guy on the panel who works in eventing. Take race out of this shit. We have Glenn, a guy who's worked for an eventing company for a number of years and works for events now for AB and fucking Bev, right? And you want to answer this question, Anthrax. You want to answer it. Sure, you're a TO and stuff, but in eventing, bro, you were fucking eclipsed in experience. And the fact that you answered the way you answered, you didn't know what you were fucking talking about. So why answer that shit? I don't know. Maybe it's just because the way the esports scene is set up, that the white guy always thinks he has, their voices is the loudest, right? They always got the answers for everything. You all built the scene from the ground up. Well, the scene is basically the same place where it was 10 years ago. So there's an issue there as well. But yeah, why he decided to answer that question like that, I don't know. I really don't know. But it is what it is. Let me see if I got anything else here from the talent. Let me look at I did write down a few notes. Just reminders to talk about things. Oh, yes. More TO shit. So it's I kind of mix talent and TO together, right? We got the TOs. You remember Mega 8, Mega Scam, what I like to call it? They were hosting tournaments, right? They're a big tournament organizer in South Africa. I remember a Facebook thread, somebody talking about racism. It could have been in the South African Dota 2 group or somebody's personal Facebook page about racism in Dota or racism in esports or some shit. And Alex Schmid, the guy who used to run Mega 8, the director or some shit, and one of the fucking ex-guys from there, I don't know what his name was, a bald motherfucker. He's also homophobic too, by the way. I don't remember the guy's name, but these two guys are talking about, oh no, there's nothing we can really do and stuff. And I'm like, Mega 8 guy saying this. I remember a tournament. I was casting for Mega 8, and I had to cast a game of brutal fucking racist plays. The guy who got caught saying the K word. Maybe before we were more woke about the stuff and we got players banned, making real differences out there. And I'm like, so you hosted a tournament and let this guy play for money and you want to be like, shh, what can we do? We detached from this. What can we do? I'm like, nah, dog. You are full of shit right there. You are the people supposed to make a difference. Yeah, I just blasted Anthrax now about the Game Nation thing, but this man, I can tell you, made a fucking difference when it came to ACG, when he got caught for racism. Beyond just Metal State himself, he went out of his way to make sure the scene doesn't see this motherfucker. It's not a commonly spoken about thing. It's not open and shit. So maybe it's, I don't know, because I don't think he wanted to go and get mad credit and stuff for these things, but that's why I genuinely got respect for the guy, because he did his part in some way. But now I'm listening to fucking Mega 8 man, Mega Scam man, sorry. Let's get our name straight here. Mega Scam talking about, what can we do? Like, fuck you, dog. Fuck you. If you hosting a tournament that's open to racists, you are part of the fucking problem. You are then, what's my word for this fucking video? A racist. Right? Because you are fucking helping to perpetuate the same system in which all this shit happens. Fuck. Like, I don't know why, like I'm talking to fucking 5-year-olds about this shit. Fucking, what can you do, guys? What can you do? Next set of notes. So I guess another personal experience. This has nothing to do with the creator scene. Well, not that much to do. Obviously when you play as an Indian guy, there's always the slurs like curry muncher, this, that, whatever. And this is one of the few good things I have to say on this fucking podcast. I was playing with, video rather. I was playing one game with Gambino, against Gambino, and there was a guy on my team being extremely racist and stuff. And Gambino, a colored guy, was playing with a bunch of his other people of color friends. And it was like, and at some point, this Ricky was talking shit in all chat or whatever, and they started shitting on him, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy's a racist too. And like they were trolling this guy, they fucking shit talked this guy or whatever. And I was like, yo, this feels like such a nice environment to play Dota in. I was like, why can't this be every game? And the fact that I'm saying that, y'all gotta give me credit for, because that fucker Gambino beats me in every pub. But like, I wish this was my common experience, besides the fucking racist. But like, people I enjoy playing Dota with, like, who I don't have to worry about calling me a curry muncher or a fucking coolie or some shit. Could just play the game. But yeah, that is SA Dota 2 server, not something that's gonna happen too often. But yeah, it is what it is. The last thing I want to talk about is, this is, I think, the hardest thing to talk about, actually, because obviously it becomes very apparent the people, even to the popcorn munchers don't fucking see that it's apparent that the people using K words and shit are fucking racist. But say la vive, we're not trying to appeal to the fucking popcorn munching motherfuckers here. We're trying to speak to, I don't even know who I'm gonna try to speak to, because to be honest, Glenn, let's use my boy Glenn again, for example. He wrote an article the other day about like Black Lives Matter and all like the fucking harassment and shit, the mass harassment happening in the gaming scene and things. And like he got kind of fucked for it. Like he wrote that article, critical hit. It was tagged with cancel culture as well, so that's also tough talking with people. And he got like fucked. Like the comment section was wild. They called him a white baby hater and stuff. It was fucking hilarious. Not because of how stupid it was. So don't misinterpret my hilarity of the situation. And he made a tweet afterwards, and he was like, yo, I think this is going to be a long time till I make another piece of content or whatever for the gaming scene. And I respect him for his article. Honestly, I quite enjoyed his article. But that point, I was like, Glenn, you're a smart guy. I know you. But how are you surprised at this shit? Like, I know what I'm going to get for making this video. I'm going to get massive shit. And I haven't even said the fucking wildest parts yet. Because that's just the scene. The scene is fucking racist. I'm not surprised if I don't get a DM telling me to kill myself, or somebody messaging Sargon at Esports Central telling them to fire me, then I didn't do a right fucking video. That's my fucking thinking going into this. Because I know how the fucking popcorn munchers function. Y'all are full of shit. But yeah, enough of the popcorn motherfuckers. Let's talk about people we actually know. Let's go back here to this fucking thread. Let's go. I mean, I'm not gonna show you the most abhorrent comment. You all know how these people function already. I think I must. Oh, here we go. SNES comment. All right. Here we go. He's memeing here, saying whatever, SA Dota community being shit, which is 100% right about factually speaking. I don't know how anybody could try to dispute it. Then we see my man, Darren Reinhardt. Now again, same disclaimer like I made for RDK. Darren is my boy. Like, genuinely, there's maybe, like, I can't name more than a handful of people in SA Dota that I genuinely enjoy spending more time with than I do with Darren. Like, we've gone out many times. Like, we've spoken about a lot of things. He's just a genuinely nice dude, right? But same like RDK, just because somebody's a nice guy doesn't mean I'm gonna let dumb shit go. Because yo. This comment on the surface of it is not too bad, right? It's like, is it really though? So, let's read SNES comment here. Fuck it. Been hearing from people there's been a lot of positive development in the local Dota scene with regards to conversation about racism and how the local community is actually ready to have an honest conversation about racism in our community. Then it's like SA Dota community, and I don't know if you can see the GIF. Let me fucking zoom this shit in on my browser. There we go. That's gonna be that's way too much. Okay, I fucking broke it. One back. I lost the post. Jesus, I just lost my momentum, guys. Here we go. To have an honest conversation about racism in our Dota 2 community, SA Dota community, yeah, that's gonna be a no from me, dog. And again, let's go back to, like, if you think he's wrong here, Mr. Snare is wrong, go back to the comment section and look at how many of the fucking popcorn munchers, who gives a fuck kind of motherfuckers are there. And this Reddit, mind you, is actually better than a lot of other threads, but say la vive. Let's hear what Darren has to say and why he has to say it. Here we go. Is it really though? It feels like there's a lot more people are ready to actively stand against racism in the game. I obviously only have this group to draw from, and your personal experience might be the complete opposite, but it genuinely feels like it's in the minority now. Firstly, Darren, how the fuck would you know? Like, genuinely speaking, are you going into games putting on a fucking African or like a black voice, South African black voice changer or Indian voice changer? And like, okay, nobody's calling me K-word anymore. Are you going into a game putting on the fucking woman voice changer? Be like, oh no, there's no misogynist anymore? Or it's just like, you feel like it, right? You feel like it. I mean, him not knowing you, it's not the biggest deal of this. Just one aspect of it, okay? Because there's no perspective from where it's coming from, I don't think. Another thing I'd like to bring up is that I've actually spoken to Darren about this, mind you. Not this very instance, but I had a conversation with Darren and amongst other many pro players here in the South African scene when Muzzy and ACG were caught and shit. I was in a Discord. I was mad that day. I was like, how I am here. Maybe not so honest, because I was with a bunch of, let's keep things PC up in here. I was there. And I was fucking raging. I was like, yo, man, this is ridiculous. What are we going to do with this, that? And Darren's like, yo, man, to what extent, man? What extent? What do you think it's really going to change? You're going to go talk about this on a podcast? You're going to go write an article? Like, who really gives a fuck? This is the way people are. They're racist. They fucking racist. Darren is saying from his fucking armchair, like objective, good white view, the good fucking white. He's one of the good ones. And that's what I said, I was like, yo, Snare, me and Snare actually had a conversation about this once, and we were like, naming players we don't think would ever come out with saying racist shit. And I was like, Darren, that's my fucking guy, dude. Darren. And I said Mark, and I was like a few others, and fucking Snare mocked me for this shit, that bastard. He mocked me for it. And I'm gonna go back to what Darren said. So Darren's like, what's the point? Who cares? It doesn't affect me. That's just the way things are gonna go. And now he's out here saying, oh, it's changed or whatever. Maybe it has changed, Darren. Like, generally speaking, maybe it's changed. We've made some progress. But I will say, no thanks to fucking you, my friend. Not 1% chance. You were in Energy Esports last year, and you guys kicked the one fucking brown player from your team. Actually, they did this twice because Phalanx also got kicked, but that was before. I wasn't paying too much attention then, but I still think it was a bit of a yikes kick for a number of reasons. But y'all kick your one brown player, TKC Dota, and get, who in their team, guys? You know who they wanted to get in their team? AC fucking G. Now, if that's not... ACG. Because who cares, right? Like, if nobody cares, then who gives a fuck if we play with a known racist? Like, this is what I said on my last podcast. I was like, nobody other than those 4 motherfuckers in Energy Esports thought this was a good idea. But seeing how all these threads and stuff go, I mean, maybe do you blame them? I mean, Brutal Plays has been known about this shit for all these years. I mean, Alex still let him play in his fucking tournament, right? So maybe he was like, yo, racists can live free in fucking SA Dota and South African esports. What's the issue here? I mean, that could have been his thinking. Do I blame him? I mean, you guys can say I'm like maybe salty because my brother got kicked or whatever. But look at it from a Dota perspective too. They won a LAN. They came third in a LAN. There was like tight games, all of them. And then they get fucked in Masters without him. So the Dota's kind of irrelevant here. But just, you kick a brown, like, maybe I'm reaching. I am actually kind of reaching. But just think about the optics of this, right? You kicking a brown player to get a racist player in your team. I mean, it is actually fucking hilarious. It is hilarious. And the issue I take with the Darrens is like I'll quote another more famous person. A more famous person. So when the whole Muzzy and ACG thing went down, the racists are out here getting exposed. Whole conversations and stuff taking place. Samantha Tech Girl Writes response to all of that was one tweet quoting Bob Ewell's tweet from like 2 or 3 months before that, being like, I told you so, in regards to that brands don't want to work with scene with racist optics. And I look at that and I was like, you are the biggest voice in the scene by quite a margin, and your only contribution onto the discussion of race is, I told you so. Money is not coming through. Like, that's a yikes from fucking me, Chief. And the issue I have with the Darrens and the fucking Sams is that they sit there in their fucking armchairs like, look at this racism. They're not like these guys getting shared on Facebook. They're not dropping the K words. They're not sharing fucking white farmers died and all that shit. But I can tell you for a fact that they are beneficiaries of the racist system, and they help fucking perpetuate it by just doing fuck all about it, because that's the status quo right now. That is the status quo. It is fucked. And the reason I'm bringing up the Darrens and the Sams here is because that's the majority of the scene. Like, I don't think like every fucking player is just dropping K-bomb after K-bomb after K-bomb in every pub. But yo, I wouldn't be surprised to see the fucking popcorn munchers sharing Tucker Carlson videos or saying white farmers are getting murdered and shit. I wouldn't be surprised. Not even a fucking little. I'm not KC from last year that's like, yo, we gotta deal with this nicely. We keep it to Muzzy. We don't want to blow things up and shit. Like, it wasn't my active choice to hide all those white racist gaming people last year. That was a good one. I actually came up with it before. I only remembered now. Otherwise, I'd used it earlier. But like, I feel like I could just hit that shit. Like, I could have exposed all these motherfuckers. Like, somebody sent me a whole word cloud of all of us, and I was like, when I saw it, I just didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know what to do when the problem was this big. And this is just the K-word problem, right? I was like, yo, is it really this big? Like, I kind of stepped back, and I was like, I mean, it took me, right? It actually just took me. Now that I think about it, I don't think I legitimately knew how to respond to an entire scene that's fucked. I was like, Like, yo, I didn't know. But now I'm thinking, maybe my thinking was just like, yo, let's make a safe space for the racists. You know, Chad and Muzzy kind of got fucked, slaps on the wrist or whatever. But let the rest of them go. You know, SA Dota needs to live on, but I don't think I hold that fucking opinion anymore. I am tired of this fucking bullshit of racism in the scene. The scene is fucked. Racism in the esports industry is real. I think Glenn on one of the Esports Central podcasts, I can't remember what we were moaning about in our prime of being tilters and rages. He was like, this scene needs to be burnt to the fucking ground and then come back up. And I found it hilarious then, but I agree with him completely. It's been 10 years now. How much has it changed? Why is it gonna change when the Anthraxes of the world are gonna answer, I'm a white guy at Soweto, or Sam's gonna tweet about, I was right, or the Darren's like saying, no, it's changed now, you know, this is the fucking pro player, a TO and the biggest fucking personality talking this dumb fucking shit, and you want the common fucking popcorn muncher to not be racist. I fucking give up. I throw in my towel. I'm done with this shit. Why haven't I casted SA Dota for the past who knows how long? Why should I? I don't want to hype up this racist motherfucker and that racist motherfucker and shit. It's garbage. I'm done with you fuckers. Like, genuinely, I'm over it. Till the scene changes, I am done. Now, 2020 is fucking mask off here, and I throw in the fucking towel. This scene is a fucking... Like, and it's not like, oh, I'm saying that now because, you know, I'm not active and stuff anymore. I was the top of the fucking shit pile at some stage. I was cast the most games. I used to work all day, events and shit. But I will still say that, like, with all these things that I've done and I've worked through, right? My first cast of SA Dota, or maybe my second when I was casting fucking Hunter Dota playing and shit. It was probably my best cast ever because I genuinely enjoyed what I was doing. I was there casting a game for 2 hours, and for the 2 hours I was casting, I was having the best time of my life. I wouldn't want to be any other place than casting this fucking shitty SA Dota 2 game. Can I say that now? Not a fucking chance. It would grate my fucking gears to have to talk about this. Be like, yo, this guy's doing so great. This racist is killing that racist. Be like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. Never again am I going to have to cast a fucking brutal plays game for mega scum. I'm sick of this shit. Mask off, motherfuckers. I am done.